You know what I find really funny is that I wasn't actually going to record this episode. I had a whole list of reasons, perfectionist fantasies. I was tired, wasn't feeling inspired. My setup wasn't perfect. I wasn't, doing it exactly like I had told myself I was going to do it and how I wanted to do it. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. No one's going to notice if I skip one upload. And you know what? That's true. But at the end of the day, I would notice and it would eat me up. And that's like the whole point of this. Welcome back to the For Creators by Lily podcast, the space where we build, grow, and spill all of the truth in the creator world. So let's cut through the noise and get into the real stuff. If you're a creator or just creator curious, then you're in the right place. This is no fluff, just real strategy. And I'm your host, Lily, an Afro-Latina strategy girly, beauty content creator, and your go-to creative big sis. Because after 6 years, 600 plus brand deals, and a whole lot of trial and error, I have built my brand from scratch and secured campaigns with top tier companies, and I learned exactly what works and what's just nonsense. So this space is for the newbies, the seasoned creators, and everyone in between, because we talk about systems, trends, rates, burnout, and passion, because let me tell you, being a content creator is in fact a whole job. And it's time that we start treating it like one. You're gonna get the tools, the strategy, and the unfiltered advice you actually need to move up in the industry with purpose. So grab your tea, open that Notes or Notion app, and let's get into it. Today, we are gonna tap into your potential and build something you're proud of. I made this podcast. I made For Creators. I created it as a promise to myself that I would show up when I said I would. Not every day, not when it's trending, not when I feel like it, but when I said I would. And today is one of those days. I said that I would show up today, so I'm here. I want to talk about what consistency really means. I feel like somewhere along the way, we all started thinking it meant, posting daily, on the grind 24/7, club, party, bus, another party, club, but and never resting, never missing a beat. And honestly, that's just not sustainable. Literally, it's not even necessary. For me, I'm teaching myself that consistency is showing up when I said I would. It's about self-trust first, and then trust with you guys, the listener, the audience. And I feel like, at least I know for me personally, when I see somebody that I look up to, when I see that they're following through with their promises, they're posting, when they said they were going to post, I get a sense of building that connection with them, seeing that they're a person who follows through and being like, yeah, this is definitely a person that I can relate to, that I look up to, that inspires me, la, 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 la. And I want to be that. I want to be that for you. So I am becoming a person who follows through. And it's hard. It is so hard because especially being a creator or being your own boss. Let's take creator out of it. Let's just say being your own boss, because you set the schedule, you set the pace, you decide what, when, who, how, why, where. You don't have somebody telling you what you need to do. You have to figure out when you're going to do it, and you have to hold yourself accountable for that. The last 6 years, I have struggled with that majorly, behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. You guys see it. I post and ghost. I'm not going to lie. That is who I have been for these last 2.5 years. And it sucks and I hate it so much. But it's on one hand, school, that was my focus. That was my focus. Socials was not my focus. It was school and, making sure that I'm able to make enough money so that way I don't have student loans. I don't have crazy debt coming out of school. And I did that. I don't have school debt. I don't have crazy loans. And so I'm proud of myself for that. But now that I've officially been out of school 5 weeks, 6 weeks, it's time to flip the switch, flip the script. I'm changing the way that I'm doing this. And it's really hard because it's breaking my old consistency. It's breaking the old patterns that I used to have, of not following through, of not being that person, and it's so hard. And so basically what I'm trying to get at here is that I want to become a dependable creator, a dependable source, a dependable person in a sea of flakiness, in a sea of people canceling plans and changing things and flipping the script. And it's you know what? For them, that's fine. But for me, I want consistency in the way that I view consistency. Not the posting every day, but the posting when I say I'm going to post and showing up when I say I'm going to show up for you guys and for myself. Because it's not just for you. It is more for me than it is for you. This podcast is such a journey. It's such a learning curve that I didn't think I'd have to go through. And it has flipped so many things upside down, right side up. And you know what? I love it. I've loved every moment, but it's different than what I expected. It's not how I thought it would go. And, going through those ebbs and those flows is just such a reminder. It's such a reality check that I am human. We are human. Things happen. But the biggest goal, the main point at the end of the day, how you bounce back, how you react after whatever it is that happens to you is what defines you as a person. Not to get too deep or sentimental, but that's just, I don't know, that's just where I am right now. That's just my train of thought. I feel and I've learned that breaking promises that I have set myself. So for example, I said that I would post on this podcast Wednesdays and Fridays. And I posted for a Friday, and I didn't post last Friday because I didn't prepare my week well enough. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And so it made me not be able to post. And that was my decision. And honestly, it is a week later and I'm still harboring. I'm so upset with myself over it. So that's why today I was no, I can't let another day that I said I was going to post, I can't let that pass by, because then I'm disrespecting myself. I'm hurting myself. It's easy to break a promise to yourself because no one else sees it. But at the end of the day, you feel it. It will harbor within you. It will fester within you. And that weighs on you. Every time that I say, oh, I'm going to film this on this day, and I don't, it always chips away at my confidence just a little bit. But then when you reverse that, and when I do show up, even when I don't want to, I am so proud of myself. And that is the kind of self-respect that I'm trying to build, that I want to build, that I am building for myself and for my career, for my business. And so those around me see, because you can't expect anybody else to respect you if you don't respect yourself. And that includes showing up for yourself when you said you would. At the end of the day, let me be clear. This is not about hustle culture. This is not me telling you, oh, if you say you're going to post 5 times a week and you don't post 5 times a week, because let's be honest, that's unrealistic for 75% of people posting 5 times a week, not a day, or a day. 2 to 3 posts a week, fine, manageable, doable. Because at the same time, you want this content to be authentic. You want it to be real. You want it to be you. And you can't do that if you're just everywhere scattered all at once. I've tried. I have tried, and look at where I am. So this isn't about hustle culture. This is about integrity and upholding that integrity within yourself when no one else can see it. When you have nobody else there holding you accountable. That is what this is about. Showing up in a way that's realistic is another thing. This is another topic, another major bullet point. Because like I just said, if you told yourself you're going to post every single Monday, then do that. Not every day. Not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No. You need to be realistic. You need to show up in a way that's realistic. That's something I learned the hard way. But if you said, I'm going to post every Monday, then do that. Post Mondays. If you say, I'm going to post every Monday and Thursday, then do that. And you know what? Make time in your week. Make time in your schedule. Create content however you batch edit, you batch upload and post. Do that. Hold the promises you've made to yourself. And it's not about, being everywhere all the time. It's about being where you said you would be when you said you'd be there. Let me repeat that. It's not about being everywhere all the time, all at once. It's about being where you said you'd be when you said you'd be there. And that is how you build trust within yourself, with others around you, with your community. Not by being perfect, but being present. I want to hit home that the point of For Creators is this. This podcast, this community, it's not about pretending to have it all together. It is about creating something sustainable, intentional, and real with clarification. It's about showing up when it matters. And today, for me, it mattered. So I'm here. Not because it was easy, not because all of me really wants to do this and really wants to be here, but because it's who I'm becoming. It is who I see my future self being. It is who I will be. Some key takeaways that I have for you as I leave you with the rest of this is that consistency is about keeping promises to yourself, not your calendar, and specifically not your content calendar. I want you to remember that trust is built in the small, unseen moments of follow through. And that is something that is so pivotal and so important to learn. Lastly, it's okay to have days off. It's okay if you just really can't get yourself to do it, to not do it. But remember, who you're becoming when you choose to show up anyway, who that person is is slowly but surely building together. This is what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to show up for myself. I wanted to show up for you. And I feel really good about that. And that's what this is about. And I want you to remember that. And I want you to save this episode. And whenever you have the moment of like, "Ugh, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to. I want you to listen to this episode then. Because it's going to hit different. Because right now, if you're feeling motivated, if you're feeling inspired, if you're feeling all the things, it's going to be like, yeah, I know. But when you're not feeling it, when you're in the trenches and when you don't want to get out of bed and when this is the time, that's the time to listen to this episode. And I want you to do that. If you made it all the way here, and if you're still listening, I see you and I appreciate you. And I want you to know that that means that you're showing up for yourself. And I am so proud of you for that. Please, you guys, if this episode helps you in any way, send it to another creator, another person to share this, to share the truth behind what this journey is all about. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So thank you so much for listening. I just want to say thank you for listening. And I hope that you have an amazing day, week, month, year. I hope that you have a great one. And also, happy Q3. Q3 just started like 2 days ago when I'm recording this. So that's super exciting. Don't forget to do your Q3 outreach, you guys. I'm going to try to hit that today and tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for listening to this. I see you. Bye.